VISTA stands for Vision Science to Applications, and it's a program we have here at York University which focuses on vision. Now, to be clear, we're not just investigating the eye. Most of us are looking at how the brain interprets the images of the eye and uses that. So that has applications in various aspects of healthcare.
We're looking at vision from all sorts of different points of view. From the neurophysiological point of view, from normal vision and perceptual point of view, computer point of view, and from robotics also. So there's many different applications and very many different ways of thinking about what vision is, and York has always been a centre for this research.
I like to think it's a two-dimensional space. On the one hand, we're trying to span from biological to computational vision. On the other hand, we're trying to span from pure science of vision to the applications of vision.
We have collaborations with companies like Adobe, with Google, and Qualcomm, who's based here in Canada up in Markham. And these industry partners are the ones who are able to push out this technology. So if you can develop something in the lab, you have connections to partners who can actually realize these things in products that consumers will use.
In our work in entertainment, for instance, we need to work with filmmakers, we need to work with post-production people, and so on, right down to the display manufacturers who put the pixels in front of us in the movie theater or in our homes.
We have collaborations around the world with hospitals, industry, and that's where we're able to take our basic research and bring it to applications that will benefit Canadians.
York University is a great home for VISTA because we're already coming into this program as an interdisciplinary university. Now it's been formalized so that it's so much easier to enable this sort of cross-discipline research that we really need. If you really want to get at problems that go from how does the brain work to how do I get my grandmother to not fall in the early stages of dementia? It's really complicated. So you actually need a lot of help. And so it's great we have an environment here that we can do that.
Hi everyone, my name is Amir and I'll be presenting the outline of a project funded by VISTA that was carried out through industry collaboration with Exenza Labs. The project was designed to enhance certain cognitive abilities of older adults with neurofeedback training. While neurofeedback training, typically visual or auditory representation of the user's brain activity is shown to them, and this visual representation is then used to reinforce brain activity in desired ways referred to as feedback. This allows the user to modulate their brain activity, and in doing so, their related cognitive abilities are improved. And this approach takes advantage from being non-invasive, not having any side effects, and having long-lasting benefits. So about 40% of older adults complain about their memory, and the cost of care for diseases such as dementia, which are characterized by memory impairment, is over $10 million per year. This makes neurofeedback an excellent approach to try to improve memory in older adults. So we obtained EEG recordings from healthy older adults and provided them visual feedback through an iPad. And this feedback was optimized to upregulate brain activity in the theta band frequency known to be related to memory and cognitive processing. And here I've outlined the study design. After obtaining demographic information and consent from the participants, we randomly assigned them to either the neurofeedback or sham neurofeedback training group. And for baseline measurements, they took several cognitive processing tests in the pre-training phase. Then each participant took home an EEG and an iPad to go through neurofeedback training for 4 weeks or at least 24 sessions. Their memory performance was also assessed during the neurofeedback training process. Now, at the end of the study, we again administered the same cognitive assessments. And in doing so, we compared their cognitive measures between the pre and the post neurofeedback to determine if there were any improvements due to training. Thanks a lot.
Hi, this is Shahin Ebrahimi. In this presentation, I introduce our novel technology for oral neutrophil-based infection detection. This project is directed by Professor Ibrahim Ghafarzadeh and his team in BioSol Lab. Neutrophil quantification for oral cavity health analysis is our primary goal in proposing this technology. As it can be seen in this table, the number of neutrophil cells increases due to different infection diseases. Our infection detection approach is unique and relying on adhesive properties of neutrophils, which are defined by specific CD markers or the surface adhesion receptors of these cells, as are illustrated in this microscopic image. In order to facilitate the counting procedure, we proposed a novel, efficient, and low-cost methodology to isolate the oral neutrophil cells. As illustrated here, in the left microscopic image, we can see epithelial cells, neutrophils, and debris, while after isolation in the right side, we can see that only neutrophil cells are remained. Our first product is a novel automated platform to separate the cells from saliva using our developed isolation method. This technology is primarily aimed to be used by dental clinics and research labs for detecting and screening of periodontal diseases. Here I present our AI solution for the automatic cell detection problem. To detect and count neutrophil cells, we use deep learning and a modified YOLO algorithm that enables tackling raw microscopic images in a real-time fashion without requiring sample preparation or initial image pre-processing steps. The choice of deep learning solution also enables deploying the model to handheld devices, and to date we have achieved results with accuracies over 90% even from low-quality images. Thank you for your attention. Also, we would like to thank our partners for the support of this research.
Hello everyone, my name is Domer Thapa and I am a postdoc at Professor Nima Thapataba's lab in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Drug abuse has been a growing problem all over the world for millions of people. Canada is no exception. Drug use costs Canadian government almost $17 billion a year. Drug use is also responsible for 30,000 hospitalizations and nearly 18,000 deaths in Canada each year. Around 42% of fatally injured drivers in a motor vehicle accidents are tested positive for drugs in post-accident test. Cannabis is legalized for recreational use in Canada, but none of the existing methods are reliable, sensitive, and rapid enough for on-site detection of cannabis, and this is where we come into play. With the help of VISTA Prototyping Fund and NSERC I2I program, we have developed a rapid, portable, and highly sensitive device for the detection of cannabis in oral fluid. In the testing process, a donor salivates a paper-based test cassette for a few seconds and wait for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the test cassette is analyzed by a reader with the help of a computing device such as a tablet. The developed technology can detect THC as low as 2 nanograms per milliliter with an accuracy of 96%. The device is based on the principle of photothermal imaging technology. In this technique, a heat source, such as a laser, is used to excite gold nanoparticles present in the assay. The thermal wave generated by the nanoparticle is monitored by an infrared camera. The thermal wave captured by the camera at the test line is directly proportional to the amount of THC present in the oral fluid. The device can be used for testing drivers at the roadside and testing employees at the workplace for fitness of duty. Thank you, and here are our related publications.
My name is Maria Salido, and I'm here to show you why visuospatial tasks are very good for assessing normative and advanced cognitive abilities in children. We have been using tasks of mental attentional capacity. This is a classic one with shapes, where children have to look at shapes on the right side and find the point of total intersection on the left. We adjust difficulty by increasing the number of shapes, and children with higher abilities can solve problems with more shapes. This is an example with 6 shapes. This task has been used extensively in education and in different countries. And as you can see, all these different colors from the different studies are hugging the black theoretical expectations, showing that these tasks are pretty good in evaluating cognitive abilities across cultures. I wanted to develop tasks that can be used with neuroimaging, so they needed to be computerized, and I have developed tasks with colors, letters, and numbers. Data from Toronto, these are data from more than 500 participants in different cohorts. And you can see that here, the lines for the shapes task and the colors task closely matches the theoretical normative expectations. And the blue lines are the colors and the letters, also closely matching. And the green lines are the data from the shapes, the colors, and the numbers, also following the expectations. From Russia, children enter school at 7-8, so they're in grade 1, and we tested children in grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these purple lines show data from the shapes, the colors, and the number task. These results are beautiful. We also set giftedness criteria to be 2 units above what is expected for their age, and the proportions we get are very similar to what researchers find with intelligence tests. 1% of children overperform with the number tasks and 5% with the color matching task. We're continuing this research with neuroimaging and eye tracking, and thank you very much for your attention.
Hi, I'm Maria Koshkina. I'm a PhD student working with Professor James Elder here at York, and I'm going to present our work on contrastive learning for sports video, unsupervised player classification. Being able to collect accurate game statistics is very important for team sports. For example, NHL is now installing sensors on all of the player jerseys as well as packs, and that's in addition to multiple cameras installed around the rings. This kind of technology is still prohibitively expensive for non-professional teams. So in our lab, we're working to use computer vision and machine learning methods to do player tracking, game event detection, automatic statistics, using just a raw video of the game. One of the fundamental tasks for collecting automatic game statistics is labeling each person on playing surface as either referee, player on team A, or player on team B. We proposed a novel method of player classification that involves a two-step approach. The first, identify referees whose appearance remain consistent throughout all games. For that purpose, we train a convolutional neural network classifier to label referees and non-referees. The player appearance, however, is not known ahead of time and changes game to game. For this reason, unsupervised approach is preferable for player labeling. We train an embedding network in fully unsupervised way to extract player image features. We then use the first few frames of the video to cluster detected players into 2 teams. We can then label all players accurately for the rest of the game by assigning them to the closest cluster. We achieve a high accuracy of 94% when learning team clusters on just a single frame of a previously unseen video. As a next step, we are planning to use this accurate player classification to assist with accurate tracking. Thank you.
One of our day-to-day tasks is to navigate throughout the board, and the crucial part of that is spatial coding. It has been suggested that humans can code spatial information based on their own body part, which is called egocentric coding, or based on surrounding object, which is called allocentric coding. And it has been shown that humans combine egocentric and allocentric information, but currently it is not known how this combination is happening in the brain. And this is particularly because of the inadequacy of current theories to explain data in different modalities or in different formats. Therefore, our goal here is to provide a theoretical framework to investigate the underlying mechanism for allocentric and egocentric coding. And this understanding is not only important for neuroscience, but has implications in many different fields such as virtual reality, augmented reality, and robotics. To do so, we propose to use artificial neural networks, and specifically to train them to generate similar output as what it is observed and reported in experimental behaviors given the same set of inputs, and generate comparable activities in the middle neural node as the neural reported neural recordings. This provides or creates 2 challenges for us. First, to generate proper input-output pairs, as well as generate proper architecture which is physiologically feasible. To address these 2 challenges, we use images. We first use images which contain allocentric cues here to cross line, as well as visual targets here the dot as the source of our allocentric information alongside with body configuration. For example, here the initial gaze position and for the output to generate the motor movements for reaching toward the visual targets. To address the second challenge, we use current convolutional neural network, which was physiologically inspired to emulate early visual areas alongside with fully connected networks to perform the required computation. And our preliminary results show that we can train the network to generate required behavior as well as generate activities in the middle layers, similar as to neural recordings.
Large high-quality datasets are the cornerstone of modern data-driven approaches in computer vision and computer graphics applications. Here we introduce MOVI, a large and publicly available dataset of human motion and video. MOVI includes a large amount of optical motion capture data, video data, and IMU data recorded from 90 subjects doing a variety of everyday actions. In comparison to other existing datasets, the multimodal recordings in MOVI provides partially overlapping information that allows to overcome limitations of the individual recording methods. In MOVI, we provide frame-by-frame synchronized video, 3D pose and body surface, all calibrated into a unified coordinate system from 2 stationary cameras. Covering 20 different action types. We processed our optical motion capture recordings in collaboration with Perceiving Systems Group from the Max Planck Institute for Intelligent Systems as part of AMAS dataset, providing pose in different representations and shape as simple model shape parameters including subject-dependent and pose-dependent parameters. We additionally processed our optical motion capture data using Visual 3D software, which provides motion representations suitable for biomechanics analysis applications. We also provide a large set of synchronized video, sparse optical motion capture, and IMU data, in addition to video recorded by 2 cell phone cameras. MOVI can be used in a variety of challenges and applications spanning across computer vision, computer graphics, and healthcare systems. For more information, please visit our website.
I'm Megan Adams. I'm a VISTA postdoctoral fellow at York University in Toronto Rehab, and I'm also a vestibular physiotherapist with an interest in concussion rehab. Chronic concussion can be stratified into distinct post-concussion disorders. One of these is visual-vestibular post-concussion disorder with symptoms including dizziness and vertigo. When I worked clinically, I saw a lot of patients with this disorder, and I realized that the measures I had at my disposal had 2 main problems. The first is that all of these tools relied on asking patients to report their own symptoms. This is a problem because symptom self-report measures are vulnerable to subconscious bias or even overt deception. The second problem is that all currently available tools assess the visual and vestibular systems independently without considering how they interact. This interaction, known as multisensory integration, is essential to how we function in daily life, and people with visual vestibular post-concussion disorder describe problems in scenarios that require coordination of these systems. A common symptom-provoking task is grocery shopping, which involves navigating a visually cluttered environment while looking at items, thinking about what you need to buy, and planning and executing various movements. Therefore, my research goal is to develop a real-world relevant way to assess how people with concussion cope with the complex multisensory challenges encountered during activities of daily living. I study people in middle adulthood because this group has been understudied in the concussion literature. I include those who have had concussions as well as controls with no history of concussion. And I measure balance because it has the potential to produce objective measurements and is a functional task that relies on multisensory integration. My research takes place in Street Lab at Toronto Rehab and uses a virtual reality simulation designed to mimic moving down the aisle of a grocery store, but providing visual stimuli that simulate self-motion. Changes in the participant's stability are captured by a force platform, allowing me to assess what happens when indicators of visual motion conflict with the other signals required to maintain balance. My work is unique because it links laboratory-based methods with everyday functional activities. It also has very real implications for the clinical management of concussion, with the potential to improve how individuals with concussion are assessed and inform decisions about return to work, which is a critical component of rehab for the middle-aged population. Thank you.
Even before COVID-19, it could be difficult for many patients to take part in physiotherapy exercises in a clinic due to the difficulty of getting to the clinical office, and exercises at home are difficult for the physiotherapist to monitor. Building on research conducted at York University and in partnership with Physiomobility, Professors Harris and Jenkin have developed technology that uses a web-based interface in which the physiotherapists assign exercises to the patient, which the patient then conducts. Patient performance, including head motion, are available for the clinician to quantify the patient's progress. With the emergence of commodity VR technology and the enhanced difficulty of having patients physically present in a clinician's office due to COVID, now is the time for this type of technology. Even under the constraints of COVID, research continues with our industrial partner. We are interested in finding additional partners in both the technology sector to assist with software development and commercialization, as well as from the physiotherapy sector, with the goal of identifying additional early adopters.